Go.
All right, history lovers, Mark Malloy with Emerging Revolutionary War, coming to you with another stop 250 years ago. At this time, we are still following the British column on their arduous retreat back to Charlestown. And like I said, it gets very, very bloody in this section. The gentleman we just talked about, the Jason Russell house, is just up the street that way. In fact, nearby there is where Jason Russell is buried. And there's also a mass grave of about 40 British soldiers that were killed in this area that were buried in that mass grave, which is kind of a haunting reminder of the human cost that this bloodshed brought. But I really want to tell you about this story. This is probably, everybody I tell this story to, it's one of their favorite stories about the Battle Road. It's just an amazing story, and that's the story of Samuel Whittemore. Samuel Whittemore was a 78-year-old man. Now, this is something we keep seeing over and over again in these battles, is older men who were kind of the home guard being called into duty because the war was literally on their doorsteps. Well, Samuel Whittemore, he is, like I said, 78 years old. As the British call him, he knows they're coming down. He's going to go ahead and arm himself with a musket, 2 pistols, and his sword. And he's standing somewhere in this area overlooking the road. And as the British column keeps coming down, he's shooting his musket, and he's with deadly accuracy. So much so that the British dispatch some soldiers to come up here and, as they said, kill the old rebel. Now, as the British soldiers start approaching him, he drops his musket, he pulls out his 2 pistols, he shoots and kills 2 British soldiers coming to get him, then he draws his sword, and at that moment, the British fire a shot that goes through his face, and then they bayonet him 14 times, and they get back on the road and they continue on, assuming they had killed this man. What's amazing is he survives. Not only does he survives for another 16 years, and he's going to live until the age of 96 before he finally passes away. But that is really, I think, it's a great story that really kind of shows you the tenacity and just the toughness of the men who are defending, like I said, literally their homes in this area 250 years ago right now. Now, another place that, and Billy, you can kind of show where the fighting goes. The column continues to march down this way. There's a site that's there that used to be there. It's no longer there. It's called the Cooper Tavern. And I think that really kind of shows you how brutal it was. As the British soldiers are going there, there were 2 unarmed civilians sitting in there drinking mugs of flip that day. British soldiers bust in. They are going to fire 100 musket balls into the building. They are going to bash these 2 men's heads open with their musket butts and bayonet them to death. Like I said, really kind of a gruesome fighting that's happening here. And like I said, it's kind of like a blood rage that's happening as they are still continuing to retreat. Now, after they get through Monotony, and like I said, with all this happening, the British are actually start sending guys ahead to burn down different buildings and homes along the road so that they don't have to go into these houses and clear them out, which just adds to the devastation. You can imagine as the sun's going down, like right now, the smoke fires filling the air, the dead and dying littering this whole area in what's today Arlington, Massachusetts. It's really shows you, like I said, that this whole Revolutionary War was really born in a very, very brutal, vicious way. But we're coming close to the British finally getting back to Charlestown, so we got one more stop for you so that you can follow along. Thanks for following everything we're doing. Feel free to share all these things with all your friends so people can know about this history. This is something we love to do. We love being in the place where history actually happened and telling stories at that place. But keep following us for more.